Scott Peters, who represents San Diego's 50th Congressional District, delivered the news in a statement. It says in part that the stakes in the race are high. Peters says he's putting his loyalty to the country and democracy ahead of his great affection for President Biden. And while the Biden campaign has characterized his debate performance as just a bad night, Peters says it was not a blip and that the polls in swing states have worsened alarmingly. Then came word from 49th District Representative Mike Levin that he too was calling on the president to step aside. Levin released a statement saying in part that in the 2 weeks since the debate, he's had a chance to connect with hundreds of his constituents. He says their response was overwhelming and that he believes it's time for President Biden to pass the torch.
But I think this is a signal that many Democrats across the country are starting to fear that President Biden will become a drag on the ticket.
CNN is reporting that Levin is the first representative to tell Biden personally that it was time for him to go. The network says that happened in a phone call with the Hispanic caucus, of which Levin is a member. A spokesperson confirmed Levin was on the call but would not confirm what was said, calling it a private discussion. Even with the Peters and Levin defections, political science professor Carl Luna says he doesn't expect Biden to budge yet.
The polls have not shifted dramatically enough. He can still argue he's the comeback kid, except now he's the comeback octogenarian.
As for the other House members of San Diego's Democratic delegation, 52nd District Representative Juan Vargas is still firmly in the president's corner. He issued a 2-sentence statement saying, "President Biden defeated Trump in 2020, and I look forward to seeing him do so again this November. I support the Biden-Harris ticket and the historic results they've delivered for our nation." 51st District Representative Sarah Jacobs is keeping her powder dry. Her statement said simply, "We don't have a comment on this."
And I think we're potentially at a sea change moment in seeing this evolving reaction among really important Democratic leaders across the country who may be, as we speak, really starting to move towards unanimity in calling on Joe Biden to step aside.
Luna says Biden would have to have the senior moment of all senior moments to quit at this point. He says this whole episode speaks to a larger problem America has with its political parties.
I think the root cause is both political parties lack a vision for a rapidly changing America. So they're clinging on to a past, which is basically shifting away underneath their feet.
Whether the president's position will shift is anyone's guess as November 5th draws ever closer. John Carroll, KPBS News.